Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang semua. Alright, we continue a revision session prior Kedah 2021 paper 2. So today I think I just discuss on section A, 60 marks. Paper 2, trial Kedah 2021. Okay, as usual, go through the list of formula. What are the formula included in this paper? Okay. Okay, section A, 60 marks. You need to answer all questions in this section. Mesti jawab semua soalan. Okay, look at question number 1. Okay, number 1. Diagram 1 shows velocity v against time t for a moving motorcycle. Okay, as I hope you already know, for VT graph, what you can get from the VT graph, V against T graph. Firstly, the gradient equals to acceleration, and then the area equals to displacement or distance travel. Underline the correct definition. Velocity is the rate of change of, velocity is vector, so displacement. So you just underline sasaran ataupun displacement. Gariskan. Guna rula garis dia straight sikit. Okay, B1, take the base quantity shown by the graph. Okay, from the graph we can see there are two physical quantities here, velocity and time. Okay, so base quantity here is time. Velocity is derived. Okay, just take one box. Part 2, name the physical quantity shown by gradient of the graph. Okay, acceleration. Jangan tulis A sahaja. Memanglah A tu acceleration, tapi jangan tulis simbol. Simbol kena define. Okay, so tulis penuh acceleration. Answer on question B2 is a vector quantity. Give another example of vector quantity. Okay, banyak vector quantity. You just state one, because 1 mark only. Give one example. Okay, there are so many. Force, okay, momentum, okay, displacement, okay, velocity, okay, just take one enough already. Okay, number 2, diagram 2 shows an advertising board held by a light iron rod and wire to a vertical wall of a building. The iron rod is fixed horizontally. Okay, ini ada papan iklan. Okay, ada besi, rod besi dan wire dipasang secara horizontal mendatar. Okay, given diagram macam ni, you nampak angle dia. This is the angle, and then tension of the cable wire. Okay. Name force F. We call it tension. Okay. Ataupun daya tegangan, tension force. Okay, one mark. Part 2, draw the vertical component Fy of force F. Mana satu the component you boleh lukiskan di sini. For force F, you can derive the two component, horizontal component, vertical component. So direction mestilah upwards. So this one is the component Y for F. Using the angle 30, so direction must be correct. Okay, F is coming out from this point. This one is upwards. Okay, so Fy must be upwards, out from this point. Okay. Okay, part B, if the mass of board is 50 kilogram, this is the mass. Weights of the iron rod and wire are ignored. Calculate value of F. Formula. Okay, we look at the vertical component. You can just mark all the forces that act. So there is a weight of the advertising board, 50 kilograms. So weight equals to mg. Means 50 times g. Okay. Component Fy, you can resolve the two component Fx. Okay. Using the angle 30, you will get here is F cos 30. Okay. For Fy, I'm using the angle given 30. I will get here is F sine 30. Okay, you can also use this angle, up to you. Okay, so I use this angle 30, so I have component Y F sine theta. Okay, this advertising board is hanging at rest, meaning the forces act on the board are balanced. So upward force equals to downward force. So in this case mentioned in the questions, can look at the list of formula. What is the value of G given? 9.81 meter second negative 2. Thus, this is the box or the advertising board. Component Fy F sine 30, weight downward 50 G. Means F sine 30 equals to 50 G. F equals to 50 times 9.81 divided by sine 30. Okay. So we get 981 meter. This is the force F. Okay, number 3, Earth-Moon system. Okay, but there are two objects here, Earth and Moon, according to Newton gravitational law of gravitation. So there are gravitational forces between Moon and Earth. This one is Earth pulling the Moon. This is the Moon pulling the Earth. Same magnitude, opposite direction. Okay. The Moon orbits the Earth once in 27.3 days. So it means this is period of orbits or period of rotation. The distance between center of Earth and Moon given small r, given mass of Moon. Okay, determine linear speed of the Moon. So what is the formula for linear speed? You can go and check in the list if given. Okay, V equals to, if you want to derive, we just use the concept of a centripetal force equals to gravitational force. Okay. So you will have V equals to square root of Gm over R. So this one we call it centripetal force. Sorry, we call it linear speed of the Moon. Okay, now we are using the formula. Okay, ini panggil linear speed. Ada yang confused dengan escape velocity, tak sama escape velocity dengan linear speed. Okay, linear speed ni ialah speed semasa satellite to orbit the Earth for example, ataupun Moon orbiting the Earth. Itu panggil linear speed. Kalau escape velocity ialah contohnya launching a satellite to the to orbit the Earth. From the surface of the Earth to release it, so it must achieve a certain value of velocity that we call escape velocity. Then only it will stay and orbiting at the orbit. Okay, itu beza dia. Jadi kena tahu beza linear speed dan juga escape velocity. Okay, linear speed. Okay, V equals to square root of G M divided by R. Okay, kita cuba check adakah semua diberikan, adakah maklumat cukup atau tidak. Okay, jadi kalau ikut di sini, mass ini ialah mass of the Earth because the Moon is orbiting the Earth. R kita ada, G boleh check dalam list. Tapi sini tak ada diberikan mass of the Earth, tak ada. Okay, so kita try lihat formula yang lain. Tapi dia ada information about period T. Period T. Apa formula yang melibatkan period T? formula B bersamaan dengan S divided by T ya. Kita benarkan ini balik. Okay, the moon orbit the earth in 27.3 days. 3 days. One complete rotation is just like circumference of the orbit 2 pi r. So the distance traveled for one complete orbit is 2 pi r. And the time taken is period. So means another formula that can be used for linear speed is 2 pi r divided by t. Okay, boleh guna formula ni. So depends apa information yang diberikan. So equals to 2 pi r, kita dah ada 3.84 10 to the power 8. Okay, period given dalam days. Kalau ikut formula ini, unit untuk linear speed ialah meter per second. So 27.3 tu you kena convert to second. 27.3 days, one day ada berapa hours? 24 hours. 1 hour 60 minit, 1 minute 60 second. So ini proses untuk convert kepada second. Okay. So you calculate ni, you akan dapat 103.04 meter second to the power negative 1. Okay, dapat. Ini adalah linear speed. So linear speed ada dua formula. Okay, you all boleh gunakan formula square root gm divided by r ataupun formula 2 pi r divided by t. So depends on the information given, apa information yang diberikan. So you all boleh gunakan. Okay, part 2, determine gravitational force on the moon by the earth. Okay, F equals to formula. Kalau you ada information yang cukup, you juga boleh gunakan formula ini. Okay, mesti ada mass of the moon, mass of the earth and distance or orbital or radius of orbit moon orbiting the earth. Okay, adakah cukup maklumatnya? Okay, ataupun kita boleh gunakan formula mv squared over r. Okay, so this is the mass of the moon multiply linear speed of the moon divided by radius of orbit. Okay, disebabkan kita dah calculate linear speed, so terus gunakan mass of the moon divided by radius of orbit. Okay, berhentikan. Okay, so dapat formula jawapan dia. (2.003 times 10 to the power 20 Newton). Okay, B the moon does not move closer to the earth even though gravitational force acts on it. Explain. Okay, kenapa? There is a gravitational force act, but at the same time, there is also centripetal force act when the moon orbiting the Earth. Same magnitude, opposite direction, it's just like it become balanced. Okay, so we can say there's no net force, okay, that pull the moon towards the Earth. That's why the moon does not move closer to the Earth. Okay, even though there is a gravitational force act on it. As we discussed earlier, centripetal force equals to gravitational force. Okay, it does produce centripetal acceleration, but the acceleration is not caused by change in magnitude, just change in the direction. So same situation where we can say there's no net force, okay, that can cause the moon to move towards the Earth. Okay, that's why it just stay orbiting and traveling at constant speed. The speed is constant, but velocity is not constant. The velocity not constant because of the changes in the direction. Okay. A researcher conducted an investigation using phosphorus 32 to study absorption and movement of fertilizers in the plant. Diagram 4 shows how radioisotope phosphorus 32 injected to the stem of plants. The half-life is 14 days and emit beta particle. Okay, ini untuk baja tumbuhan. Nampak Ini phosphorus diinject. Sini ada detector, normally is GM tube lah. Okay, sini ada reading counter kita panggil. Soalan, what is meant by half-life? Okay, keywords untuk half-life ialah time taken, activity become half. Okay, jadi kena ada perkataan yang lengkap The nucleus of radioactive material to become half. Okay, ataupun time taken for half of the nucleus of radioactive material to decay. Also can. Okay. Jadi kena ada perkataan ni, time taken, nucleus become half ataupun activity pun boleh. Okay, dia punya rate lah. Okay, per minute, per second, okay, per days. Okay. KB initial phosphorus 32 activity is 800 count per second. Calculate time taken to decrease to 50 counts per second. Okay, kita lihat balik information apa yang diberikan. Okay, half-life ialah 14 days in its beta. Okay, so T half equals to 14 days. Okay, initial activity 800. After certain time, the new activity is 50 count per second. So what is the time taken for this activity 800 to become 50? Berapa? Okay. Kalau you nak buat satu-satu pun boleh, tapi panjang lah. 800 become 400, one half-life, 200, another one half-life, 100, another one half-life, 50. So ada berapa half-life ni? 4 half-life. Okay, so the time taken ialah 4 half-life. Maksudnya ialah 4 times 40. Okay, so ini bersamaan dengan 56. So the time taken for 800 to become 50 ialah 56 days. Okay. Okay, ada formula lain? Okay, kita boleh gunakan cara ini juga. Number of half-life you boleh calculate. So fraction fraction left ialah berapa? You ambilkan 50 divided by 800. So it becomes 1 over 16, which is equals to 1 over 2 to the power 4. This we get n equals to 4, same thing. So what is the time taken for half-life? Okay, so this one also we can apply the formula to calculate, or you can just use this method. So okay. See, a small pond nearby a nuclear reactor becomes contaminated by the release of radioactive waste. The radioactivity of a sample of contaminated water from the pond is tested for 5 minutes and result in graph below. Okay. Ini ialah decay curve untuk aktiviti tu. Initial value or nucleus ialah 800 dia punya activity. Half-life equals to 14 days, meaning become 400 in 14 days. Okay. Okay, this one is what? I think it's different already, Okay, 5 minutes. Tested for 5 minutes. Use the graph to find half-life of the radioactive material. This one is different part, so we don't use the refer to the phosphorus already. This one another material. Okay, half-life based on the graph. Okay, you all gunakan ruler. 800 become half. Okay, maksudnya ialah 400. So gunakan ruler, gariskan di sini. To find the corresponding value time in minutes. The formula is 1.2 minutes. So that one will become half-life of the material. Okay. The radioactive source does not pose a danger if it has decayed to 1/8 of its original. Calculate the time taken. Okay, 1/8, 1/8 from the original meaning 800. So which is equals to 100 count per minute. So means the value already decay to become 100 from 800. So what is the time taken? Okay, so you can just use this method if you want. 800 become 400, half, 1 half-life. 400 become 200, another 1 half-life. 200 become 100, so another 1 half-life. Now we have 3 half-life. Okay, so the number of half-life is 3. So the time taken equals to n equals to 3. So the time t equals to n half-life or 3 half-life. Half-life already calculated 1.2 on the graph. So answer is 3.6 minutes. So you can leave your answer in this minute unless mentioned here as I unit. Okay? Kalau mention SI unit, you kena tukar ke second lah. Part 3, if the sample of contaminated water used in the test is of a smaller quantity, what happens to the value of half-life? Half-life does not depend on the mass that used. Okay, so we can say unchanged. Okay, number 5, 5.1 shows 4 pendulum bob, different lengths tied to the string, X and B same length. Pendulum X displays release without touching other pendulum. Pendulum X oscillate frequency 2 Hz. Other pendulums start to oscillate due to oscillation of pendulum X. What is the meaning of amplitude? Amplitude is defined as the maximum displacement from equilibrium point. Okay. Okay, itu panggil amplitude. Contohnya ialah simple pendulum. Okay, the highest point that can be reached by the bob ialah sini A atau B. Maksudnya dia akan oscillate pergi A and then pergi B and then pergi balik ke equilibrium point. Jadi tengah-tengah ni kita panggil equilibrium point. So the displacement between OA, OB, we call it amplitude. Maximum displacement. Maksudnya paling tinggi dia boleh sampai A dan turun balik. Itu panggil amplitude. Okay. Which pendulum oscillate with maximum amplitude? Pendulum B. Okay, tengok yang sama panjang. Okay, ni yang sama panjang. Kalau you lihat faktor that affect frekuensi ataupun period untuk pendulum, simple pendulum, kita ada formula ni. So factor yang affect ialah length of pendulum and gravitational acceleration G ataupun gravitational phase strength. Okay. Jadi ini semua G adalah sama lah, G constant. Jadi relationship between P and L. Okay. X dengan B tu dia same length. Kalau dia same length maksudnya period dia sama. Okay. So kalau period dia sama, B akan receive force from X at same frequency, okay, which is same as its natural frequency. So means the force frequency equals to natural frequency. Okay, so dia sama panjang, jadi force frequency yang sampai B tu samalah dengan natural frequency B. So bila ini sama, B akan oscillate dengan maximum amplitude, or we call it phenomenon of what? Resonance. So B experience resonance. Okay, jadi yang mana? Ialah pendulum B. Give state one reason B has same length as A, same length as A, force frequency is equal to, not A here, X, sorry, yeah, X. Natural frequency. Or we can say the experience resonance. Okay. Kalau dua markah tu boleh combine lah point di sini. Kalau satu you boleh pilih salah satu. Okay, name the phenomenon. So this is the answer, resonance. Calculate period of oscillation of pendulum X. Frequency given 2 Hertz. Okay, so period T equals to 1 over frequency. So 1 over 2, we get 0.5 seconds. That one is period of oscillation. Okay, but E, the Tacoma Narrow Bridge, United States, was collapsed 1940 due to phenomenon started in IC. Based on the phenomenon, explain how this tragedy happened. 2 points, 2 marks. Remember the phenomenon of resonance. Why resonance occur? The force frequency of the wind blows is equals to the natural frequency of the bridge. So what happens when this happens? The molecules of the bridge vibrates at maximum amplitude until it able to release itself between force of molecule. Okay, so the bridge oscillates maximum amplitude. And finally collapse. Okay. Okay. Jadi ada 2 point di sini. Force frequency equals to natural frequency oscillate at maximum amplitude. Okay. F, the pendulum X will stop oscillating after a few minutes. On diagram 5.3, sketch displacement time graph to show damping process. Apa maksud damping? Pelembapan. Amplitude decreases with time. Kalau amplitude dia 10, boleh nampaklah amplitude dia makin kurang. Kalau you plot graph amplitude against time, you akan dapat graph macam ni. Okay, amplitude against. Okay, ini graph ialah displacement. Okay. Sama juga, you boleh draw dulu control line buat broken line menunjukkan amplitude decreases with time. Samalah atas bawah tu. Okay. And then we can mark the time interval dulu, sama. Okay, let's see ini adalah dia punya center dia. Kita boleh lukiskan dia punya graph. Okay, bahagian yang atas ni. Lukiskan. Okay, so kalau lukis sekurang-kurangnya ada 2 wave kan? 1, 2, 3. Okay, sekurang-kurangnya mesti 2 wave. Then only we can see wave dia punya amplitude decreases ataupun sesaran displacement decrease. Okay, period dia constant you tak boleh cincai lukis contoh macam ni. You tak tandakan dia punya ini. Better you buatlah dalam 2 cm ke ataupun 1 cm ke satu. Okay, jangan cincai lukis. Ini besar dan suddenly macam ni lah. Ni tak mau. Ini tak boleh Still okay macam ni. Period tak ada ubah Frekuensi tak ubah. Apa yang berubah hanyalah amplitude. Nampak amplitude dia. Ini amplitude ni. So amplitude dia dah berkurang decrease. Okay, number 6. Diagram 6.1, 6.2 show two similar cargo ships sailing on the ocean. A is without load, B dengan load. Total weight different, tak sama. Ini tak ada bawa load, ini ada bawa load. Okay, what is the meaning of weight? Apakah yang dimaksudkan dengan berat? Okay, you boleh gunakan jawapan dia gravitational pull ataupun force acted on an object. Okay, gravitational pull ataupun gravitational force. Okay, part 2 compare total weights between A and B. So nampak kalau B tu dia loaded, dia ada load di atas dia, mestilah dia lagi heavy So weight of is larger than ship A. Okay. Volume of water displaced equals to the submerged part of the ship. Bahagian bawah permukaan tu ship yang tenggelam tu berapa? Itu adalah volume of water displaced of ship B is larger than ship A. Sebab dia lebih berat, dia akan tenggelam lebih dalam jadi lebih banyak lah volume of water displaced. Okay. Compare buoyant force acting on the cargo ship. Buoyant force equals to weight of water displaced. So daripada comparison tadi dah nampak B tu mempunyai lebih banyak volume of water displaced. Lebih banyak volume water displaced maksudnya lebih banyak lah ataupun lebih besar weight of water displaced. So buoyant force of ship B is larger than ship A. Okay, relate volume water displaced by the cargo ship and the buoyant force. Jangan guna directly proportional di sini hanya relate sahaja macam tulis hypothesis. The larger the volume of water displaced, So it's quite hard. Right, and sometimes dia lari sikit sana. Okay, the larger the volume of water displaced, the larger the buoyant force. Ini kita relate based on your answer apa apa. Jangan tulis directly proportional kat sini ya. Itu relationship tu based on the graph dan sebagainya. Ini tak ada ya. Kita hanya buat conclusion based on the comparison ya. Part D ya, buoyant force acting on cargo ship B, mass of cargo ship B is 15.05 times 10 power 13. Okay, when the ship floating at rest, okay, forces that act, kita ada weight of the ship and also buoyant force. F ya. Okay. So because floating at rest, so forces are balanced, buoyant force equals to weight of the ship displaced. Sorry, weight of the ship, weight of the ship, or equals to weight of liquid displaced. Okay. So M kita dah diberikan di sini massnya G981. Okay, di sini kita akan dapat buoyant force. Okay, jawapan untuk buoyant force sama dengan weight of the ship. What will happen to cargo ship B at River Bay if one reason? So kalau C to B, apa berlaku? Density dia decrease. Okay. Buoyant force ialah weight of liquid displaced, meaning density of liquid, volume of liquid G. Okay. Same load. Okay, M dia sama. Then same buoyant force. Apa beza, apa perubahan? Hanyalah relate between density and volume. Ataupun boleh tulis juga macam ni. Okay, for constant F dengan G, V dengan rho akan berubah ya. Kalau density dia decrease, volume of liquid displaced increase. If the volume of liquid displaced increase, means the ship will sink more. Okay. If the ship sink more and the volume of liquid displaced causes it to pass through the safety level by Pendulum line, so it will sink. Okay, this one will cause the ship to sink. Okay, okay, ship will sink because density of river water is smaller. Okay, density of river water is smaller, so it will displace large amount of water. Okay, number 7, diagram 7.1 shows a 1,500 kg van traveling speed 15 collide with 1,000 kg car traveling opposite direction, speed 20. Okay, sorry for interruption. Okay, 1,500 kg, then this is M1, U1. This is M2, 1,000, opposite direction, V2. After collision, both vehicles get stuck and move together. This is U2, U2 initial velocity before collide. So both move together, we can assume after collision, they move with a common velocity, V. Okay, they start and then move with common velocity. Okay, define momentum. Momentum is the product of hasil darat jisim dan halaju, product of mass and velocity. Okay, hasil darat jisim dan halaju, ataupun nak tulis macam formula pun boleh. Okay, momentum equals to mass multiply velocity. Cuma jangan tulis EMV sahaja. Kena define semua simbol. State principle involved in the above collision, principle of conservation of momentum. Okay. Calculate velocity of the pen and the car after collision. Okay, so the car and the pen. This is before, collide, after. Stick or stuck, move together, common velocity. M1, U1, M2, U2. Okay, so M1, M2. So principle of conservation states that total momentum is always conserved. So total momentum before equals to total momentum after. Okay, so you have M1, U1 plus M2, U2 equals M1 plus M2, because stuck together, which is like forming one new object, which is larger mass, M1 plus M2. So gantikan semua value. Yang opposite direction, you put negative sign. Assume right side as positive. Ambil direction kanan positif, kiri negatif. Okay, gantikan. Okay, U2 opposite, you kena letak tanda negatif. Okay, dan cari B lah. Okay, kita dapat 1 meter second negative 5. Cuba calculate. Okay, ini sketching tak perlu lukis di sini ya. Ini tak perlu, saya just nak tunjuk. You boleh buat. Okay, dekat mana-mana rough paper. Dan yang penting ini, gantian ini dan juga jawapan. Okay, 2 markah. Unit kena betul. Okay, see the jet engine of airplane uses principle of conservation of momentum to produce forward thrust. Okay, nampak kita ada jet engine. Okay. Based on table 1, state the suitable characteristic of jet engine which can move the airplane with the highest velocity. Highest velocity maksudnya momentum mesti besar. MV, momentum. Okay, so size of combustion chamber mestilah large. Okay, besar. Okay, larger size. Okay, apa reason? Larger or more fuel can be combusted. Lebih banyak pembakaran boleh berlaku, maksudnya boleh masuk lebih banyak bahan api lah. More combustion of fuel, bahan api, boleh pembakaran lebih banyak berlaku. Size of opening exhaust. Size of opening exhaust, kita nak hasilkan larger momentum, maksudnya larger speed, opening dia kena small. Okay, smaller opening. Okay, okay, speed of gas release is higher. Release out. Momentum lebih besar, sebab then dia akan hasilkan momentum of the jet to move forward at higher velocity. Okay, because momentum of the gas release equals to momentum of the jet. So based on your answer, choose the most suitable jet engine. Nampak yang mana? Larger size combustion and smaller opening. Okay, so dari sini you pilih, you akan dapat R. Okay, air intake dia pun big opening, ini bagus. Okay, big combustion, also good. And then exhaust gas through small opening. Kalau ada lagi, kenapa air intake through big opening? Maksudnya more air, okay, can be sucked in. Okay, jadi lebih banyak air masuk, so lebih banyak combustion. Titanium blade not easily rusted. Okay, not easily corrode, tak mudah berkarat. Okay, dia stronger material lagi. Okay, jadi kita akan pilih okay. Okay, number 8. Table 2 shows two type of pot and its characteristics. So kita ada clay pot and also copper pot. Soalan, what is meant by specific heat capacity? Okay, amount of heat, ini kena memorize lah. Amount of heat required or needed to increase what? The temperature of 1 kg substance by 1 degree Celsius. Jadi kena ada perkataan ini sebab specific. So kena ada 1 kg substance, 1 degree Celsius. Okay. Characteristic of pot, cook food faster cepat masak? Yang mana satu? Okay, kalau boleh pilih dulu baru jawab tengok karakteristik dia. Kita ada clay pot dan copper pot. Kalau compare clay dengan copper, tanah liat dengan conductor. Okay, ini memang very good heat conductor. So kita akan pilih copper instead of clay. Look at the specific heat capacity is smaller, so it will heat up faster. And mass is smaller, so it is lighter. A good heat conductor, smaller specific heat capacity, smaller mass. So dia punya advantage nampak lebih besar untuk cook food faster. So material of pot we can state as made of copper. Reason? Good heat conductor. Means can be heated up faster. Cepat absorb heat lah. Okay. Cepat panas Material of handle normally is insulator ataupun polymer. Okay, sini ada mention tentang diagram dia. Nampak tak? Ini handle dia adalah clay ataupun polymer. Okay. It is an insulator. Tak jadi panas lah maksudnya. Mass of pot, smaller mass. So it is lighter, thinner, easily to carry. Okay. Bagi reason yang sesuai lah. Okay. Copper pot heated up by heating plate, power 800 watt. Calculate time taken to increase temperature of pot by 50 degrees Celsius. Okay. Heat supplied by heater. First to heat absorbed by plate. Okay, so temperature of plate increase, so we have PT equals NC theta. 800 T. Mass of the copper pot just now is 2.5 and specific heat capacity 390. Increase in temperature already given, so 50. So the time taken equals to 60.94 seconds. Okay, semua kena betul. Okay, gantian betul, unit betul. Okay, part C, last part. Okay, dah habis lah. Okay. So ini adalah section A untuk trial Kedah paper 2, section A. Okay. So that's all for now. Bye.